It's time for another question makeover because I should be in bed, but I can't fall asleep. Okay, first things first, I actually thought this was like a really cute survey question, and I appreciated the aesthetics of it. I thought it looked really good. Excuse the blue little scribbles. That was because sometimes, especially with smaller companies, like I don't want to I don't know. I don't want to put them by name and like call them out in a mean way. I don't know where I am on that yet. So I just like de-identify or remove information that could make you know for sure who it is. Maybe you have this app and you recognize the survey. I don't know, but I'm not going to say their name. So this was a question I got when I downloaded their app, and they want to know, how did I hear about their company? This is a question that I actually feel like I see a lot, in particular when I'm online shopping and buy something. It'll be like, oh, hey, how did you hear about us? And I actually love that businesses are collecting this information instead of trying to guess and just be like, no, but I like intuitively feel that most people hear about us on TikTok, or most people hear us about on Instagram, or most people hear about us from our friends, whatever. Instead, they're just like, hey, why don't we just ask people where they hear about us? And like, that's not to knock your intuition. I love intuition. I use mine all the time. And yet, this is something that you can like objectively know. You can find out where people heard about you. So like, just ask. Just ask. This is a great practice that businesses have. I love it. The catch is you have to ask it in a way that's going to get you the best information possible. This question doesn't quite do that. Let's talk about why. The clue is that it's the answer I clicked. It's the highlighted one that says ad. This was a company that I heard about through an ad. Well, if you're thinking like, well, great, Kirsten, now they're going to know you heard about them through an ad, just pause. I think it'll come to you. Where do you see ads? I see ads in a few places. I see them on Instagram. I see them on TikTok. I see them on Pinterest. I see them on YouTube. And I see them when I search on Google. Now, if I'm a savvy business owner and I want to know where I should put my ad dollars, this question does not help me at all, because it just tells me ad. Like, yeah, my ads are working. Unless I only have one ad out there on one platform, this is not good. This is not good info for me. It's not good in the sense that it's not like actionable. It's not something that I can actually use. So just like quick recap, this business wants to know how you heard about them, but the information they're getting from you about how you heard about them might not be completely accurate, because there's a category, in this case, ad, that's potentially like hiding a bunch of additional really important information. If let's say this business is paying to have ads on TikTok and on Instagram, you notice Facebook isn't even an option here. Like, maybe Facebook should be an option. It goes under other, I guess. But anyways, they're paying for ads in these two places. And let's say everyone, that's an over-exaggeration, let's say 75% of people are coming to them from Instagram. That's helpful to know, right? Because if 75% of people are coming from Instagram ads, I want to put more money in my Instagram ads, right? Because that's where I'm seeing like the greater conversion of dollars to people knowing about me. Just knowing ad, again, unless they only have one ad on one platform, doesn't do that for them. So if you look at where a lot of the blue scribbles are, this was like IRL, in real life, in case you don't know, and then it listed the names of different university college campuses. So they could do the same thing they did for IRL and be like ad dash Instagram, ad dash YouTube, ad dash TikTok, right? They could do that. Although I will say, like, it's gonna get a little cluttered if you do that, and like the aesthetics and the user experience, like, that does matter. So what I might actually recommend is after you answer this question, there is a second question that says, hey, where did you see our ad? And then you have Instagram, TikTok, whatever, right? You could do that same thing and collapse all those IRL into one and maybe spell out in real life just in case people aren't like cool with the lingo, right? So then you have a shorter list because part of this is also about user experience, right? So then I'm looking at less options. I can easily see what I need to click. And then when you need to dig deeper for deeper information, you can. Last note, since I did just mention user experience, this question gave me some anxiety. And I'll admit, I have anxiety, so like maybe it's just me. But because I didn't know how to answer it, because originally I was like, I should click Instagram because I heard about them on Instagram. But I heard about them in an ad on Instagram. And so I was like, ooh, do they want to know if I heard about them on Instagram or if I heard about them in an ad? And ultimately I went ad, but like, see, even as someone who's like trying to give them helpful information, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't give you the best information possible because you're not giving me the choices that would allow me to do that. Now, I don't know what this company's survey design process looks like, but I would really like venture to guess that it doesn't involve testing these questions with people. And to me, like, if you can only do one thing to check if you're asking a good question or not, do something called like, we call them like a think aloud, a cognitive lab, an empathy interview, to test the question with someone. So basically like sit down with someone, have them read the question aloud as if they were taking like the survey, read out the answer choices and like talk through what they're thinking as they're making decision about how to answer. Because I would really venture to guess, again, that just guessing, can't say for sure, that this ad versus platform issue would come up through that exercise. So that it to me is something like low lift, relatively easy to do to check that your question makes sense and is getting you the data you want. When you ask questions like this, one, you're likely making high stakes decision with the data. Where do we put our ad dollars? Where do we focus our outreach efforts? That's a high stakes important question. You want good data to answer it. You are also asking that people give up time to give you information, so make sure it's information you can use.